Alisyn Camerota is with us now, and along with her is Dr. Linda Applegarth, the Director of Psychological Services at the Perlman Cohen Center for Reproductive Medicine at the New York Presbyterian Hospital Weill Cornell Medical Center. Good morning to both of you.
Good morning.
You struggled for this for 2.5 years. Can you describe the quiet, the pain of that, of being quiet?
Yeah, I mean, it was a tough time. It was actually 3 years because there were 6 months where I tried on my own and nothing was working before I sought infertility treatments. So it was really painful. It was isolating. I felt lonely. And there's this cruel phenomenon that happens when you're going through infertility, which is everybody around you becomes pregnant. Pregnant women start popping out of the woodwork. So suddenly you're invited to baby showers of coworkers and relatives, and women who smoke and drink are getting pregnant, and yet you can't. And that is really frustrating.
And you benefited from being involved in a support group in Boston. You came to New York and you started your own support group because you understood something about the value of speaking to other women about this.
That's right. When I found a support group, when I was going through it, it was truly the only moment that I felt solace. I felt like I could let my guard down and finally talk to these 15 other women who were in exactly the spot that I was. So I made a vow, if I'm ever on the other side of infertility, God willing, I will do whatever I can to help women. And so I started that support group.
And here's something that's just mind-boggling. Women have more than a 50% higher chance of conceiving if they are part of an infertility support group. Doctor, can you explain that?
Well, you know, it's still, this information is incredibly encouraging in terms of the importance of emotional support. And of course, all of my patients, I encourage to get emotional support, to join support groups, to join Resolve, the National Infertility Association.
And I just want to interrupt for a second because that study that you're talking about was done by Harvard Medical School, and that showed that women in support groups can enhance their chances of conceiving in any given cycle from 20% to 54%. So there is some power.
There's a lot of power to that. And I think the other benefit of being in a support group is that you're not only getting emotional support, you're also getting appropriate information about where to go to get good treatment.
So
and those things are important too.
So the crime is to yourself is in being silent. And if you don't know where there's a support group, really, you're thinking about connecting to other women, saying even if it's just one woman you know or two women you know, getting together for coffee, talking about this, and what specifically do you think is unleashed in a person when you're able to really stop the pain of feeling you should not feel shame, but there is this kind of shame that people feel.
Absolutely, because it's such a taboo subject, and it is, let's face it, a delicate subject. I know that it's hard to talk about ovulation over your breakfast cereal in the morning, but when you can start to bond with other people, it's really a relief. And I must also say that when you can break the silence, it helps because it makes it not so easy for doctors to dismiss infertility, for researchers to do more to find a cure for it, for dollars from private and federal funds to come to infertility, that it's a disease and it requires that sort of awareness.
You know what? You're helping breaking the silence this morning in a big way. Thank you so much, both of you, for all the women you've helped today by being so bold and brave. And coming up